Right now at 5, the hype was huge, but a planned shuttle service from La Crosse to Minneapolis is off.
Tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to
Plus, an
dictate
Oval
that.
Office
Remember
clash,
that.
a
You're in
dramatic
no
breakdown in
position to
diplomacy. So what's
dictate
next
what
for
we're
the
gonna feel.
Ukraine-U.S. relationship? This breaking, explosive shouting match is where we begin tonight at 5. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ken Kozorowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. The stunning exchange playing out on live television and the world.
A live look at the White House now. President Trump saying Volodymyr Zelensky can't come back until he's, quote, ready for peace. CBS's Erica Brown has where things stand right now.
Tensions spilled over in the Oval Office between President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky during a meeting that was supposed to be about ending Russia's war with Ukraine.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not
cards.
playing cards.
But right now, you don't.
I'm very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
The conversation turned contentious as Zelensky questioned Vice President Vance about Russia honoring any deal.
What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr.
are not
President,
strong-
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
President Trump stepped in, telling Zelensky America saved Ukraine.
You invited
If
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this, I tell you.
Say thank you.
The White House says Ukraine has been difficult to negotiate with for some time.
I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I wanted this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
A scheduled news conference with the two leaders was scrapped, and Zelensky left with neither side signing a mineral rights agreement. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Wisconsin Congressman Derek Van Orden met with constituents at Castaways in La Crosse today. Voters sharing their concerns about the Trump administration's flurry of actions this week, including the federal firings and potential funding cuts. Now, the listening session was supposed to be at Pearl Street Brewery, but it was moved. Protesters unaware of the move gathered at Pearl Street to have their voices heard.
I think as a constituent of Derek Van Orden, I just want to say personally to him, he should openly talk to his constituents. He should talk to the people who live in the 3rd CD, and he should explain these votes to us.
No protesters showed up at Castaways.
Breaking news out of the Vatican, the Pope suffering a health setback. Doctors saying the 88-year-old suffered a bronchial spasm today and is now on a breathing machine. Earlier in the day, the Pope appeared to be doing better. He had breakfast and read the day's newspapers. Back here, a special mass was held for the Pope at Viterbo University. It happened inside the San Damiano Chapel. Those who took part prayed for the pontiff. His Holiness has been battling double pneumonia for over 2 weeks.
Officials have identified the victim of a house fire in Onalaska on Wednesday. The fire department says the victim was 78-year-old Sheila Pankey. She died shortly after being removed from the burning home on Franklin Street. Right now, still no word on what caused the fire.
A planned shuttle service from La Crosse to Minneapolis is no longer happening. Landline shuttle service was set to begin April 1st in partnership with Sun Country Airlines, but those plans are now scrapped. Sun Country confirmed by email the service is no longer moving forward, but didn't give a reason why.
The La Crosse County Highway Department is imposing weight restrictions beginning March 7th. It's a seasonal shift in policy to protect road damage as the ground thaws. Affected county highways include T to the northeast, OT and S near the Onalaska area, V, VV, and Q all north of Mindoro, and then FA, F, I, H, and J to the southeast. The limits are 8 tons for 2-axle vehicles, 13 tons for trucks, and then 18 for combo vehicles. Signs will be placed as reminders, and restrictions will lift once the frost is gone.
Well, it certainly is the wind today. Very strong, very gusty winds, but it'll also be the winter chill that's going to come in and back for at least part of the weekend. It's going to feel more like probably the early to mid-February instead of the first day of March. So that's kind of what we're looking at overall right now. Outside, still the winds are pretty strong out there. We've had sustained 28 to about 35. It has come down a little bit from about a couple hours ago when we had sustained winds above 30, almost above 35 at times on the west-northwest, and some gusts out there, but still overall very strong. Here are the peak winds we've had, actually some in the 60s. These are very strong winds, especially further west and east to go. Minneapolis there at 58. We've also had Mason City 60, several areas just to the west of La Crosse have had in the 60s. So that has come down a little bit. You see here are the sustained winds currently right now across the area. We're still seeing some areas in the 30s, but overall we've got a few showers too with some of this colder air that's coming down. Most of that activity is kind of staying to the east, but if you track the winds out, they will slowly decrease this evening, but still it's going to be breezy to windy out there at least through about 9 to 10 p.m. and I think after that we'll start seeing the winds kind of get below that 15-mile mark as we go throughout Saturday morning. And really overnight lows, it's definitely going to feel more like it's the first part of February, middle of February. We're going to be in the single digits to teens. So later on we'll break down how long this little chill is going to last. And the next shot, we got a precipitation, which looks like a little bit of a wintry mess coming next week.
All right. Thanks, Greg.
The Viroqua Police Department is keeping their canines safe.
And as News 8 Now's Grace Monk reports, it's thanks to a very generous donation.
Ken and Emily, K9 Loki will soon have his own body armor, and that's all thanks to a donation from a nationwide nonprofit. K9 Loki will receive a custom-built bullet and stab protective vest. The armor is a donation from Vested Interest in K9, a nonprofit that works to keep canines across the country safe. Loki and Officer Robert Vian have worked together for almost a year.
We're like best friends already. I love it, getting to go home with him, getting to get up in the morning with me and go to work, and you can tell he's really excited to go to work every single day.
When Vian discovered the nonprofit, he brought the idea to his chief.
I saw that he met the criteria, so I just applied for it, and they approved it. I want him to be safe. Anything can happen at any time, and he needs to be protected as well.
The vest will be made with NIJ certified ballistic pads that cover all of Loki's vital organs. Now, Loki hasn't received his gear yet, but he's set to get it in the next few weeks. In Viroqua, Grace Monk, News 8 Now.
Thank you, Grace. The Coulee Region Humane Society is asking for the community's help. They're in need of foster families to provide temporary homes for dogs. Staff say fostering helps the animals feel safe and prepares them for their forever homes. The executive director says it also helps an animal's mental health.
What we have found, though, is that lots of dogs deteriorate mentally in a shelter environment much faster than cats do. So our goal is to get them into foster as quickly as possible after arrival.
If you're interested in fostering a dog, we'll have links on our website with more details.
The Onalaska School District announcing its finalists for superintendent. They are Dr. Rainey Briggs, superintendent for the school district of Baraboo, Lalisha Olson, principal for Northern Hills Elementary, and Ben Barton, superintendent for Princeton Public Schools. A final round of interviews takes place next Thursday. The new superintendent will start on July 1st.
Crucifixion School in La Crescent hosted a penny war competition to raise money. The concept is a simple one. Each class competes to see which one can collect the most pennies and other loose change. Fifth grade students won, raising $1,000. They plan to give the money to the public library.
It surpassed what I was expecting. That's just amazing, and we're thrilled to have that kind of donation, because whenever we get donations like that in our community, it goes right back into the community.
The students say it's important to support local libraries.
Well, books, students, and the community came together today for a special reading event at Hinchin Elementary. It was for National African American Parent Involvement Day. Guest readers sharing stories highlighting African American culture, triumphs, and contributions. The school says the program is helping build stronger connections.
Yeah, I feel like this is like a good thing that they do here. This is huge because like the community, this is like bringing us closer. Like it's not tearing us apart, it's bringing us closer, you know. So I feel like it's a good thing that everybody's coming out to read to the kids.
The program Read Your Heart Out was created over 20 years ago.
How the measles outbreak in Texas is continuing to grow and who's most at risk.
Plus, the end of Skype, why Microsoft's video service platform is calling it quits.
When you've trusted your personal injury case to Bygoff and Rohde, you're going to feel the weight of the world off your shoulders. You have to concern yourself with getting to the doctor and trying to get better. We'll do everything else. And that's how we get results for our clients.
A 7-year-old girl attends a birthday party at a local swimming pool. She's sexually assaulted by a repeat child molester. The monster faces 100 years in prison, but Judge Susan Crawford let him off with just 4. That was Crawford's choice. Now he's back on the street, walking distance from a school. And Judge Crawford, she wants a promotion. Susan Crawford, dangerous decisions, wrong for Wisconsin.
News 8 Now and Dairyland Power Cooperative present the Community Calendar.
The Lacrosse Polar Plunge is back. Help support over 14,000 athletes of Special Olympics Wisconsin by taking the plunge in their largest grassroots fundraiser on March 1st at Black River Beach. Connect with the experts who can turn the wedding of your dreams into reality at Wedding World, bringing you the best professionals from across the region on March 2nd at the Lacrosse Center.
For more information on these events, or if you'd like to submit an event, visit news8000.com.
Save on Stressless by the truckload at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. Every season, Stressless updates styles and leathers, but first, we need to make room. At Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota, we took advantage of big discounts on discontinued styles, leathers, and overstocks. Now we're passing a truckload of savings on to you. You'll find sofas, love seats, chairs and ottomans, even power recliners, all at amazingly low prices. Don't delay. Quantities are extremely limited. Take advantage of truckload savings on Stressless, only at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota.
Hey, Dominic here, and I want to show you just how easy it is to make tacos and taco dip using Taco Pleasing. For the tacos, just brown 1 pound of ground meat with 4 teaspoons of Taco Pleasing. Add a half cup of water, simmer 15 minutes, spoon into a taco shell, and add your favorite garnish. For taco dip, blend cream cheese and a half cup of milk until smooth, then add 1 tablespoon of Taco Pleasing. Be sure to get your Taco Pleasing and 37 other blends at the Pleasing Outlet Store on Ward Avenue, La Crosse. Tacos.
After you've been injured in an accident, life becomes chaotic. You have doctor's appointments, medical bills, insurance adjusters harassing you to settle your claim. When you call Bygoff and Rohde, we take care of it all. We get results.
The Texas measles outbreak is growing. There are now 146 cases as of today. Officials there say most cases continue to be children aged 5 to 17 years old. The update comes days after Texas announced the outbreak's first death, an unvaccinated child.
If you were to get infected, it would take 10 to 14 days for it to actually get sick. During that time, you could travel all over the place.
And spread it.
And spread it to an airport, to a store, feeling fine.
Texas officials say while most cases are in patients that were unvaccinated, 5 cases were found in people who were vaccinated.
Disturbing new details in the death of actor Gene Hackman. Santa Fe County sheriffs now say Hackman was dead at least 10 days before maintenance workers found his wife and one of their dogs dead inside their New Mexico home. They used information from his pacemaker to determine it. Meanwhile, Santa Fe residents continue to remember the Oscar winner.
Oh, I remember him being a funny straight man and playing a serious role, but also being hilarious at the same time.
Hackman will be remembered at the Oscars this Sunday.
I'll say goodbye to Skype. Microsoft is shutting down the internet-based phone and video service in May. Back in 2011, Microsoft bought the service for nearly $9 billion in cash. Skype's popularity rose during the pandemic, but it has faced increased competition from Zoom, Google, and Cisco WebEx. We've got more news ahead.
But first,
definitely going to be a cold start to your weekend, but the good news, Sunday doesn't look too bad. And then we got milder conditions next week, along with a lot more rain and potentially snow, too. We'll break it all down for you coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Brad Schimmel wants to take us back to an abortion ban from 1849, back to a ban with no exceptions, not for rape or even health of the mother. Brad Schimmel, too extreme for women, too extreme for the Supreme Court.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin invites you to experience the thrill of gaming like never before. With 6 locations across the state, there's something for everyone. Whether you're a slots enthusiast, a poker pro, or prefer the excitement of table games, we've got you covered. Plus, indulge in delicious dining options, live entertainment, and exclusive promotions that add even more excitement to your visit. Come join the fun at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. Moving piles of earth, towing up to 4,000 pounds, cutting millions of blades of grass. We could keep trying to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit Tractor Central, take a seat, and see for yourself why nothing runs like a deer. Start now at TractorCentral.com.
Shop Wisconsin's best deals at Black River Furniture Outlet. Find unbeatable prices on sectionals, big or small, to fit every home. Great savings on Ashley sofas and love seats. Style and comfort at a price you'll love. Check out our wide selection of reclining and power furniture, plus custom options from Best Home Furnishings. Experience top-tier comfort with Catnapper Furniture, where relaxation is key. Black River Furniture Outlet, your upholstery headquarters. Family values, veteran-owned, and no corporate hassle. Open 7 days a week in Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Brad Schimmel let thousands of rape kits sit untested for years.
While rapists walked free
and victims waited for justice.
Take it from a sheriff.
A sheriff.
For a cop, Brad Schimmel's too extreme for the Supreme Court.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're going to have a taste, a little bit of winter-like conditions, at least through Saturday, and then things will change. So that's a good news. It is first day of March, but it won't feel like the first day of March for tomorrow. But the winds will slowly decrease this evening. They already are starting to do that. It'll take some time overnight, but we will see those gusts and speeds begin to decrease. That's the good news. Unfortunately, there's a lot of cold air with this wind, so it's going to be a cold Saturday in the morning. Wind chills could be near 0 for some areas. The good news is plenty of sun Saturday, even more still sun on Sunday. Our temperatures should warm back up to at least near average or even a little bit above into the 40s. Then it comes Mondays, a little bit of showers, but really the time frame for next week that we'll keep an eye on is Tuesday into Wednesday. Wet and windy, and wet could be rain and snow, and windy conditions too are something to keep in mind of too, especially I think Tuesday night into early Wednesday right now, and a lot of things could change with that, but if you have travel plans, something to keep an eye on. But for this evening, a few showers still could persist out there, flurries or even a snow shower. See some of these streaks coming down with a lot of that cold air that's coming with it. So you could see run into some of that area. I think most of it will stay north and east of the area, but you see less cloud cover too as we go throughout the in the overnight hours. And then as we begin to wake up, you're going to start seeing clearing skies, some clouds out there with that north wind, but temperatures are going to get into the teens, maybe even a few areas into the single digits in the morning. Now, as I mentioned, the wind speeds, wind gust, we saw a gust near 60, above 50. Now we're kind of in the 40-mile-per-hour range. We're going to see gusts. By the time we get to 10 p.m., I think most of the gusts then will be into the 30s, but they're going to start turning more to the north, too, at that direction. As we go throughout the night, it will start to come down gusts. I think by the time we get past midnight, gusts will be mainly in the 20s, except into some of the higher elevations further south. We'll still see occasional gusts of 30. And then tomorrow morning, really the gusts are just barely into the 20s, so it'll be a breezy morning. But the good news is these wind speeds really drop off quickly by the time we get to noon on Saturday. The other story is going to be the wind chill. We're already seeing wind chills getting into the teens. Could be single digits in some areas, especially further north as you go. Look at some of these, even negative numbers as we go into 5 a.m. up to the north, -2 at Ladysmith. But everyone's going to be in single-digit wind chills, so it's definitely going to feel not like the first day of March waking up tomorrow morning. The good news, once again, there is going to be sunshine going in, but even by noon, we're still looking at wind chills maybe into the teens for most areas, so definitely a cold Saturday for this time of year. As we go, there's your high temperatures, struggling to get up into freezing mark for tomorrow. The good news is we go into Sunday, the lows are going to be pretty chilly going into Sunday. We'll be in the single digits for most areas and teens, but then for Sunday, we're looking at more temperatures in the 40s. And the winds will be lighter too. So not a bad Sunday really to end with it. Unfortunately, we're just going to have a cold Saturday. Next week, that system coming up, it's really going to be tracking right to our northeast. And it's really as we get towards Monday into Tuesday as this low begins to push up. There's still some issues on exactly where this low is going to track, but we're going to have a lot of precipitation coming through Tuesday into Wednesday. The big question mark comes is when do we see that change over to snow Tuesday night into Wednesday? But this system does bear watching, a classic March system, as we say. But you look at the temperatures, we will warm up a little bit before it does hit the area, and we'll keep an eye on that. And then towards the end of next week, we kind of calm back down and get closer where we should be at that point, which is the low 40s. But definitely it's going to feel very cold tomorrow, waking up.
All right, so brace yourselves, everybody. Thanks, Greg. Coming up, Tech Savvy.
How a local high school freshman earned national recognition for his eye for problem solving.
Monday on News 8 Now this morning, Global Voices come to La Crosse for International Women's Day. We'll preview Tuesday's celebration at UWL and how you can get involved.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
During the President's Day sale at Home Furniture, get a free Stanley tumbler when you spend $6.99 or more on furniture, mattresses, and area rugs, like this sofa for $9.99. Get a $100 MasterCard Rewards card when you spend $14.99. Plus, when you spend $24.99 on your purchase, like this Esmond dining set, get $200 in MasterCard Rewards. Plus, pay no interest if paid in full within 1 year. The President's Day sale at Home Furniture ends Saturday.
Attention! If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 715-469-6907. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 715-469-6907. Again, that's 715-469-6907.
I know Brad Schimmel. He has always focused on getting justice for victims of sexual assault. The Sexual Assault Kit Initiative, Brad cleared that backlog. It's a completely false attack on him. His opponents, I think, have to change the narrative to redirect the focus away when she routinely gives light sentences to child predators. That is not what we need on the Supreme Court in Wisconsin.
Keeping you safe and ahead of the storm. The First Warn Weather Storm Runner. Only from News 8 Now. Expect more. You expect more. So thank you for watching News 8 Now.
A local student's tech talents earned national recognition today from Congressman Derek Van Orden.
Onalaska High School freshman Ali Abidi received the award this morning for his digital application design. The app was designed to enhance accessibility to free and low-cost healthcare clinics. Van Orden presented Wisconsin's 3rd Congressional District winner with the award this morning.
I feel very honored, and I'd like to extend my gratitude towards him and his staff for presenting this award to me and for helping promote this competition in our district.
Students design and create applications for computers, tablets, or phones, with one winner selected from each congressional district across the country.
Very cool.
Congrats to him. How mature of him, and what a resourceful app.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It just feels like the kids are getting smarter and smarter.
I know. I was like thinking, I can never do that. And he's
Way
a
out of my
freshman in
wheelhouse.
high school.
I know.
Congrats to him. All right, Greg has a final look at your forecast right after this.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you. So it's crispy outside, flaky inside. Let us take care of you.
With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet Spring Workwear event is going on now, and we have a great selection of quality workwear styles at unbeatable prices. New at Blaine's, men's brunch workwear apparel 25% off. Save 30% on men's work and sport sweatshirts. These men's Wolverine Western boots, $59.99 while supplies last. Plus, earn $30 in Carhartt bucks when you spend $125 on Carhartt gear. We've got the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
It's Truck Month at your local Northland Ford dealers. Time for exclusive offers on your favorite Ford trucks, including F-150 and Super Duty, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years. Ford F-Series. Get Truck Month ready with all-weather features that make life easier, like heated seating, a heated steering wheel, and remote start. Great deals on your favorite Ford trucks. That's how you get Truck Month ready. Now get over $12,000 in total savings on a new 2024 Ford F-150. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun they're having, it's easy to take for granted how they warm up by the fire or simply adjusting their thermostat. But for some of us, it's not that easy. Some of us need to decide whether to heat or to eat, or to further neglect our basic survival needs. We are working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans, all struggling to pay record heating bills. These dangerous temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for us, they can be deadly. If you are struggling to decide if you can put food on the table or heat your home, please reach out for a hand up. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
All right, hopefully we can get rid of this graphic eventually here, but not for tonight. You see the wind chills at the time you wake up will be near zero, so definitely a very cold start. Cold evening, but even colder start for Saturday. The good news is Sunday looks actually very nice in the 40s, light winds, and then we got to keep an eye on a messy situation Tuesday to Wednesday. That'll be rain turning to snow, could be accumulating snow. Kind of a classic March system to kind of deal with.
But sure looks like it.
Yeah, good mix of action in there.
Yeah,
All right, that does it for us at 5.
Thanks for joining us, and hope to see you back at 6.